first meeting of the 2021 Tourism and Outdoor Recreation Committee meeting. It's an honor to be with you again today. We've got a lot of important items that's really going to help the Commonwealth. Just going over a few housekeeping items before we actually get started of how our committee will run for the session. We will abide by the 24-hour rule on committee substitutes and amendments. Any of our members that are attending via Zoom, we appreciate you joining in. To actually vote on a bill, you'll need to be either in the room or in your annex office. The microphones are very, very sensitive, so if you aren't speaking at the time, you may want to make sure that that is turned off and that your cell phone is on silent so the microphone doesn't pick that up. If you would like to ask a question via Zoom, please use your chat box, and we will need to be in and out of this room as efficiently as possible so they can prepare for the next meeting. As we adjourn and leave the room, please take any of your personal items with you. And as we go forward, if you have any in-person presenters that would like to join us on any particular bill, please make sure that I know so that we can have them pre-cleared through security. And with that, would the secretary please call the roll?
Representative Baker. Here. Representative Branscombe. Representative Donahue. Representative Pfister. Representative Frazier.
Here.
Representative Freeland. Representative Goforth.
Here.
Representative Hale. Representative Huff. Representative Kirk McCormick. Representative Lawrence. Representative Palumbo.
Here in my annex office.
Thank you. Representative Reed.
Here.
Representative Roberts. Representative Stevenson.
I am present in my annex office.
Thank you. Representative Tackett Lafferty. Representative Timoney.
Here.
Representative Wesley.
Here.
Representative Fugit.
Here.
Chairwoman King.
Yes, ma'am. And just to confirm, do we have any committee members that are joining us off campus? Just so we can make sure. Okay, very good. You will notice two items on today's agenda. If time permits, I would like to circle back and give us just a brief overview of the state of tourism and outdoor recreation in Kentucky, but we're going to save that until we get our official business completed. We will work in reverse order, starting with House Bill 209. If Representative Dixon and his guests will please approach the table and please introduce your guest for the record. Please proceed.
Thank you, Chairwoman King, for allowing us the opportunity to present this piece of legislation today in tourism and outdoor recreation. I'm Representative Jonathan Dixon from the 11th District, and I will let my guests introduce themselves.
I am State Representative Samara Heverin, and I represent the 18th District.
Ryan Quarles, Commissioner of Agriculture.
Thank you, guys. I'm thrilled to work with the Department of Kentucky Agriculture and Commissioner Ryan Quarles on this piece of legislation during the 2021 legislative session. This legislation was previously introduced in the 2020 legislative session by Representative Samara Heverin. It passed the body almost unanimously with overwhelming bipartisan support. Due to COVID-19, it simply ran out of time to pass in the Senate. This is a great opportunity for us to make a local impact for many rural and urban areas in Kentucky. House Bill 209 makes two simple changes to Kentucky's current law. First, it adds the definition of cooperative agency to mean the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service and the Kentucky State University Cooperative Extension Program. Second, this bill adds that a cooperative extension agency is allowed to receive the donation of game meat for the purpose of free meal distributions to individuals in need. I would now like to offer my guest the opportunity to share their personal testimonies on the positive change that this law would make.
As Jonathan said, I was proud to carry this bill Representative Dixon, I was proud to carry this bill last session and see it pass with bipartisan support through the House. It was another COVID bill that unfortunately passed before we were able to finish out the session. During the COVID-19 pandemic, I've spent a lot of time at my local food pantry, the Grayson County Alliance. I was proud to have Commissioner Quarles come and help with several of our county officials to help pack emergency kits to give to families that are in need. I encourage each of you all, if you've not spent time at your local food pantry, to go and spend some time and see. They make remarkable changes in our community to help feed the hungry. And it's not who you suspect that are coming. It's people that you graduated with. It's people that you grew up with. It's your neighbors and your friends. Hunger does not discriminate, and it affects anyone that we could know. So I urge this committee to please pass this bill and to make a change for the good of the people in the Commonwealth.
Thank you, Ryan Quarles, Kentucky Department of Agriculture, and Chairwoman King. Thank you for having us today, and congratulations on your appointment to this committee. This is one of the more fun committees. You get to work with the things that attract people to our state and get to promote its natural beauty. Today is somewhat of an extension of a conversation we've had for 5 years now concerning hunger in Kentucky. We started the Kentucky Hunger Initiative many years ago in an effort to connect both our farm community and hunting community with our food banks. And one thing we've learned along the way is that sometimes there's omissions in the law. Sometimes the law is a little muddy. And so this bill basically clears up and removes potential liability for cooperative extension services, which, by the way, Kentucky is one of only 4 or 5 states that has a cooperative extension service office in every single county. And so a lot of times, recipients of food from a food bank may not know how to properly prepare meals, whether it's butternut squash, a protein, in this case, venison. The great thing is that our hunting community is strong in Kentucky, and more deer than ever are being donated to our food banks. However, we want to make sure that those at our cooperative extension service offices who are providing demonstration cooking classes don't have liability. This is very similar to a bill that this Assembly passed back in 2017 that removed liability for grocery stores that donate food to our food banks. And so I just want to say thank you to Representative Dixon, Representative Heverin, for bringing this bill back before your consideration. I'm happy to give an update if you want on the state of our food banks, especially during the pandemic if you'd like. But this is a great piece of legislation.
Motion on the bill.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioner Quarles, if you have a few points there, that would be wonderful, and then we'll take questions.
Just very briefly, before the pandemic, Kentucky had higher than national averages when it comes to the number of fellow citizens that are food insecure. But pre-pandemic, 1 in 5 Kentucky K-12 school children suffer from food insecurity. Pre-pandemic, 1 in 7 Kentucky adults food insecure, meaning they may not have access to a meal at some point throughout the year. Obviously, everything changed last March, and we've seen a dramatic uptick, a 30% increase in the number of fellow Kentuckians going to food banks, many of which is their first time having to ask for assistance. And so the first message I have is that there's plenty of food, and there's no reason to hesitate to ask for help right now. That's why these food banks are there. Our food pantries are there as well. And I'd like to echo the advice. If you had not had a chance to go down to your food pantry on a distribution day, go meet your constituents. Go meet your constituents. And hunger exists in every city, county, and community in Kentucky. But we're making big differences. Today, we went from 1 in 7 to today 1 in 5 Kentucky adults food insecure. And we don't have data for K-12 right now. We have retrofitted buses this past year, buses that used to pick up and drop off kids. Now they're dropping off food. We've had tremendous donations from our ag community, including a $500,000 donation from Kentucky Farm Bureau to our food banks, and we're using that money to buy up Kentucky Proud produce that otherwise could have rotted in the field or not made it to a grocery store, putting that fresh, nutritious, locally grown food back into our food banks so that even those who are down their luck that may need a little help right now have the dignity of buying the same quality of food that you and I enjoy. We're going to continue this. It's a tough winter. And I think that we really have helped increase not only the number of financial donations, but the amount of food donations going to our pantries as well.
We certainly appreciate your presentation. I think we do have one question. Representative West. Oh, okay, you just there you go.
I appreciate this bill. My name is Bill Wesley from District 91. And I would just like to add, I'm a pastor also, and we do a lot of distribution on food. And I've had more response from people wanting wild game than turkeys around Thanksgiving. And where I'm from in Eastern Kentucky, we have a lot of hunters that donates their deer during that time. And so I already talked to some of the food banks, knowing that this bill's coming out, and they're all for it. So I would definitely want to co-sponsor this bill. Thank you.
I just want to make a statement, Commissioner Qualls. I want to commend you on what you're doing with the ag program. I was involved in government services for the last 35, 36 years, and as a former social worker. So I see the difference that all the fresh vegetables and fruits make in our communities, and not just junk snacks. Our kids are getting good, wholesome, healthy foods, and I hope you push to make sure that it gets into all the school systems as well. It's needed by all means, and I certainly will support your bill, and I'll be happy to co-sponsor it. Question that I have is the procurement of the meat. Once it's donated, is there going to be something in place or funding? Because to take a deer to the meat market and have it processed, there's a cost to it. Yep. So is there going to be something to help offset the cost? Or
Yes, Representative. So currently we have a great partnership with an organization called Hunters for the Hungry, and we actually fundraise for them each year. And so right now, if you harvest a deer in Kentucky and you donate it, it does not cost you a dime. That due to our present level of fundraising, we're able to get that carcass properly processed and into the hands of the food bank. And so there's actually regional drop-off centers, or you can take it directly to the processor and say, hey, I want this to be earmarked to be processed. And so far, we could always use more donations, but so far we're able to cover the cost at no expense to the hunter or the food bank.
how do we, because I come from Eastern Kentucky and deers play in my yard, but how do we advise the people? Because there's a lot of people, they can just take it to, is there these processing centers in Eastern Kentucky? And,
yes.
Okay.
And so my advice is first off, get your sportsman license, of course, from the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife. Make sure you're following all the rules. And then there's actually a website link on Fish and Wildlife, and there's also Hunters for the Hungry website as well that properly explains how this works. But the good news is that when we take those deer out of our soybean patches, there's less damage, and we're also allowing Kentuckians access to fresh protein right here in Kentucky. And now with the Cooperative Extension Service, we're showing people how tasty it can be and how you can whip it up to a nice meal.
Very good.
Thank you, Representative. Committee staff is diligently looking around the room for notification of people wanting to ask questions. Do we have any others? Oh, okay, great. Representative Tackett-Lafferty.
Thank you for your presentation. You mentioned liability. Are hunters protected when they donate these meats?
Yes.
Okay.
It'd be no different than a farmer donating sweet corn or butternut squash, etc. That we do have both federal and state liability waivers in our law. But this specifically helps clarify what we thought was an omission in the law that shields those providing cooking classes at the extension offices.
Okay, thank you.
We have a motion and a second. Final call for any questions? Any on Zoom? Would the secretary please call the roll?
Representative Baker,
Yes.
Representative Branscombe,
Yes.
Representative Donahue, Representative Pfister,
Aye.
Representative Frazier,
Yes.
Representative Freeland, Representative Fugit,
Yes.
Representative Goforth,
Yes.
Representative Hale, Representative Huff,
Yes.
Representative Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Representative Lawrence,
Yes.
Representative Palumbo,
May I please explain my yes vote?
Yes, ma'am. Please proceed.
I want to thank the sponsors for bringing this bill again, and I especially want to thank you, Commissioner Quarles, for fighting hunger in Kentucky. I appreciate it so much, and again, my vote is yes.
Representative Reed,
Yes.
Representative Roberts,
Yes.
Representative Stevenson,
Yes.
Representative Tackett Lafferty, Representative Timoney,
Yes.
Representative Wesley,
Yes.
Chairwoman King.
Yes, ma'am. Congratulations, Representative. Your bill does pass this committee favorably, and we expect smooth sailing on the House floor as well. And thank you both to the Commissioner and Representative Heverin for helping to explain this good bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairwoman King.
Thank you.
At this time, since I am sponsoring the next item on our agenda, House Bill 256, I am going to pass the gavel to Vice Chair Fugate, please, and he will be presiding over this portion of our meeting.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and congratulations to you for the appointment as the chairperson of our committee, and look forward to working with you on this committee. All right, before we get started on House Bill 256, I think we have a committee sub. Do I have a motion to
Motion
accept?
on the committee sub.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Committee sub is adopted. All right, Madam Chair, we turn it over to you for discussion on House Bill 256.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would love to have Representative Tackett Lafferty as a primary sponsor to approach the table or to discuss from your current seat, whatever you would prefer. We do have guests from Mercer County, from Harrodsburg, attending via Zoom. Can we see our Zoom guests? There's Mr. Rankin. Good morning. Feel free to go ahead and unmute.
Good morning.
Good
Thank you.
morning. Good morning. Just as a little bit of background, we all know our Kentucky heritage, or hopefully we do. Harrodsburg will be turning 250 years old in 2024, and then that really starts a domino effect all across the Commonwealth. So to make sure post-COVID that we can encourage statewide, national, and hopefully international visitors to come in and enjoy that celebration, we are trying to establish a commission to help celebrate and make sure that we're ready for that when we can safely do so. So I would love for my guest via Zoom to introduce himself. And we are on a little bit of a time crunch. If you could just keep it to 4 or 5 minutes explaining your background, and then Representative Tackett Lafferty and I will explain the bill. Please proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and to the committee for the time. My name's Billy Rankin. I'm the Vice President of Programming and Marketing at Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill here in Mercer County. I'm also serving as the President of the Board of the nonprofit organization Harrodsburg 250th Inc. We formed a little over a year ago as a grassroots organization with the support of our local government here in Mercer County to begin forming committees and work groups to establish the foundation of what will be a celebration of not only Harrodsburg's history, but our state's history, culminating in the weekend of June 16th, 2024. We see this as an opportunity to promote economic stimulus for Mercer County and for Harrodsburg through tourism. We see it as a wonderful way to continue to educate not only local students, but statewide students in the history of our state and its importance to the Union in that lead up to the 250th anniversary of the nation. This is a great opportunity, as we say in the nonprofit world, to never let a good anniversary go by. We get to develop civic pride, work with the private sector, local government, our schools, statewide, to really invest in the infrastructure and the beautification of this terrific historic community here in central Kentucky. And we see this benefit being far reaching even beyond the celebration itself for stimulating the economy of this community moving forward.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rankin. Please stay on standby there in case one of our committee members might have a question. Representative Tackett Lafferty, do you have any background information you would like to share from your good additions to this bill? Can you make sure your mic's on? I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. Of course, I'm Ashley Tackett Lafferty. I represent the 95th District, and I first want to begin by thanking you, Chair King, for allowing me to be a primary co-sponsor on this bill. This bill is close to my heart because I am proud to be the representative for Floyd County, which is the place of the Jenny Wiley State Resort Park, which is one of our resort parks in Kentucky. And this is why I may go to the front. I've noticed on the floor, people say, I can't hear you because you keep turning around and not talking into the mic. So if you don't care, I'm
Absolutely.
I'm an attorney. I'm used to talking to the jury.
As she approaches the presenter's table, when she's finished with her remarks, we'll go page by page and section by section of the committee sub so members will know exactly what this does. Please proceed.
Once again, I want to thank you for allowing me to be a primary co-sponsor on this bill. As I said, I'm the proud representative in Floyd County, and that is the location of one of our resort parks here in Kentucky. The committee sub, in addition to some of the remarks you heard, will also create the establishment of the Kentucky State Park Centennial Commission. Our Kentucky State Park system will reach 100 years of service to the citizens of this Commonwealth in 2024. In 1924, our very first state park was built in eastern Kentucky. Obviously, our park system affords recreational opportunities for hiking and camping and boating and horseback riding and caving in our naturally beautiful landscapes here in the Commonwealth, but it also affords opportunities for things like education and employment and tourism dollars. That's why we think that this the creation of this commission will help us to attract people to our state resorts parks. Once they see the beauty in them, of course, they will then come back time and time again. For instance, our Jenny Wiley Resort Park, we also have an amphitheater. We have pontoon boat rentals. And those are the types of things we think that with the creation of this commission, we can advertise this celebration and attract people to our state parks across the Commonwealth, whether they are resort parks or in Harrodsburg.
Thank you, Representative. As she mentioned, Representative Bowling, Representative Tackett Lafferty, and I, we saw very much a lot of similarities in the three proposals we would like to present to the 2021 session, and so we worked together to roll them all into one.
Motion on House Bill 256 as amended by the committee sub.
Second.
Heard a motion and a second.
Madam Chair, do you want to continue to talk or you want to?
May I just briefly go
Yes,
over
ma'am.
the committee sub?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I think members have the committee sub in their folders. I promise I'm not going to be very lengthy. The first 2 pages, for the benefit of our freshman members, with all of the whereases, that is a history of why we think this good proposal needs to be passed. You will see 3 sections. In section 1, the Harrodsburg, and here's a new word for the day for you, sesquicentennial is 250. Section 1 sets up the Harrodsburg Sesquicentennial Commission, and that is defined in subsection 1. The framework or the mission of that commission is detailed there in subsection 2, and that completes on the page 4 of 10 as well. The membership is detailed in subsection 3. This will have 11 members, and a frequently asked question, maybe from your constituents as home as they will not be paid. They will be serving in a volunteer basis. This commission will be housed in the Kentucky Historical Society, that is in subsection 4, and it will sunset, so it will expire on January the 21st, 2027. So then section 2, very similar. This is Representative Tackett Lafferty's portion. The Kentucky State Parks turn 100 in the same year. So that is detailed there, and the mission. The commission members are listed, the membership will be listed and designated according to subsection 2. It will also be housed in a cabinet, this time Kentucky Tourism, Arts and Heritage, and it will sunset in January 1st, 2025. Section 3, defines Kentucky Sesquicentennial Commission, again back to 250. The membership is listed in subsection 3, the mission outlined in 2. And it will sunset on 2027 and will be housed in the Kentucky Historical Society. So that is a brief overview of what the commission would actually look like. Do we have any questions?
Any questions at all?
Oh, I'm sorry, Chair.
All right. Thank you, Representative Tackett Lafferty and Madam Chair. We have a motion on the House Bill 256 as amended by House Committee Sub. We have a second. Secretary, would you call the roll, please?
Representative Baker,
Yes.
Representative Branscombe,
Yes.
Representative Donahue, Representative Pfister,
Aye.
Representative Frazier,
Yes.
Representative Freeland,
Yes.
Representative Fugit,
Yes.
Representative Goforth,
Yes.
Representative Hale, Representative Huff, Representative Kirk McCormick,
Yes.
Representative Lawrence,
Yes.
Representative Palumbo,
Yes.
Representative Reed,
Yes.
Representative Roberts,
Yes.
Representative Stevenson,
Yes.
Representative Tackett Lafferty, Representative Timoney,
Yes.
Representative Wesley,
Yes.
Chairwoman King.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we have a title amendment on House Bill 256 as amended. Could I have a motion?
Motion on the title amendment.
Is there a second? All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, no. The title amendment is adopted, and I'll turn the meeting back over to Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We have completed our official business in a timely manner, so I would love to, just for a brief moment, give you a brief synopsis that staff has helped us compile on COVID impact on tourism and hospitality in Kentucky. This is just a brief synopsis, so if you would like additional information, please let us know. From February 2020 to November, Kentucky lost $4 billion in visitor spending, $300 million in federal tax revenue, $132 million in state tax revenues, and $46 million in local tax revenues. So this has definitely had a major impact on our Kentucky economy. In 2020, our state hotel occupancy rate went down 35%. As far as Kentucky travel, for the week ending December 12th, 2020, we had a 41% reduction based on that same time frame the year before. So as we proceed through the regular session and we enter the interim, I look forward to working with you to help our tourism and outdoor recreation members in our home districts. We do have several new members. Can we just start along the top line? And if you're a freshman overall or new to this committee, please introduce yourself and give us your home district and home county.
My name is Bill Wesley from the 91st District, which is Estill, Lee, Owsley, Breathitt, and Waco. That's a little bit of Madison County, so I consider that as another county. So I have 5, and so that's in eastern Kentucky, and I'm also a Marine Corps veteran and a pastor. Thank you.
Very good.
I'm William Lawrence, the 70th District. I take care of, cover 4 counties, Mason, Fleming, Bracken, and Robertson counties. Very excited. Tourism is a huge deal in our small town. We're a very historical town, and I'm really looking forward to working here and to make some differences for all of our communities.
Thank you. And going along the top row here,
Representative Josh Branscombe. I'm District 83, Clinton, Cumberland, Russell, and southwestern Pulaski County. All 4 counties are lake counties. Dale Hollow and Lake Cumberland are in our district. So our district is heavily reliant upon tourism. So I'm honored to be here and looking forward to working with all of you.
Representative Frazier, you're no stranger to the committee, but would you like to give a brief introduction and how this relates to your home district?
Representative Deanna Frazier. I represent the central portion of Madison County, which is District 81. I am an audiologist by trade, but the Department of Fish and Wildlife, their training is housed within the Department of Criminal Justice Center, which occurs in Richmond. And so it was important for me to be on this committee, as well as just being an enthusiast of outdoor recreation. Thank you.
Absolutely. Representative Huff?
Hello, I'm Thomas Huff. I represent the 49th District, which is about half of Bullitt County. And we also have, that's where the beginning of the Bourbon Trail is. We've got a lot of new things coming up there real soon, including a new distillery. Pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Timoney?
Representative Killing Timoney. I'm from the 45th. Not a whole lot of counties in my district, just one. Actually, it's just a southwest corner of Fayette County. Tourism is big in our district, even though it might not seem that way. Obviously, Bluegrass Airport is in the 45th District, and we have, we back up to Representative Pfister's district, so Keeneland is right across the street. We get a lot of the horse industry. We got a lot of horse farm tours, and the bourbon industry is huge in the 45th District. So I'm very pleased to be here, and I look forward to helping us move forward.
Very good. Thank you. Representative Freeland?
I'm from far western Kentucky, District 6, which is Marshall, Lyon County, and a portion of McCracken County. Of course, tourism is huge in our area. We have both Kentucky Lake and Lake Barkley. And I don't know how many different representatives. I have 2 state parks in my district, so I'm very proud of that, and they're very important to our county and to counties and to our region, and certainly to our state, and I'm very supportive of what they do. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Fugate, and I think he had some additional comments too.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Cover Perry County, half of Harlan County, and 84th District, and things we've been working on since 2017 really is a regional ATV trail system, horse trail system, and it's been really exciting to work on that with everybody from East Kentucky and Southeast Kentucky. Actually, all the representatives from Kentucky have been supportive, but we have 21 counties currently that have passed resolutions to be part of this ATV trail system. It's patterned after the trail system in West Virginia that had an economic impact last year of $38 million to their coal counties in southern West Virginia. So we hired our executive director a couple weeks ago, and he'll be starting on February the 15th, and see that rolling across all of eastern and southeast Kentucky. It's going to be a big tourism economic boost to our region, and so I'm thankful to be part of that effort to see eastern Kentucky to really thrive together. So I'm thankful for all of us that are able to work together and try not to be individuals, but all of us work together for the betterment of the whole region. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing the good news. Representative Baker?
I'm Shane Baker. I represent eastern Pulaski and western Laurel County. That includes a portion of Lake Cumberland and Laurel Lake. Our region is heavily dependent upon tourism as well. Representative Branscombe would echo this thing that a number of years ago when they were working on the dam on Lake Cumberland. Tourism declined substantially, but once it has returned, we've had a boom, and so we're blessed to have that asset in our region. But blessed, I'm grateful for the opportunity to support the assets in your region as well, and look forward to working with you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Representative Goforth.
Representative Goforth from Laurel County, represent the 89th House District, Jackson, parts of Laurel and Madison County. As Representative Fugate stated, the KMRRA is huge for our area. I'm excited about the development of that. Very appreciative of everybody in this body that has supported that and will continue to support that. We depend on tourism for most of our economy in our area, in Jackson County especially, but it's huge for Laurel and Madison. So I appreciate everything that everybody does to help expand tourism. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Reed.
Representative Brandon Reed from the 24th House District, representing Greene, LaRue, and Marion counties. We are the proud owners of the National Park of the Lincoln's birthplace, our 16th president. Thank you, Master.
Fantastic. Representative Pfister.
Representative Dan Pfister, representing the 56th District, which is Western Fayette, Eastern Franklin, and all of Woodford County. Tourism is huge in our area. As Representative Timoney mentioned, we have Keeneland, the Bourbon Trail, and there's a lot of sportsman activities as well in that region. As a lifelong farmer and sportsman, I've worked with a lot of the sportsmen's clubs across the state, as well as the Department of Fish and Wildlife, and I'm eager to help this state move forward. Looking forward to being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Tackett Lafferty.
Yes, I'm Representative Ashley Tackett Lafferty, and I represent the 95th District, which is all of Floyd County and part of Pike County. Just a sliver, actually, of Pike County. But as I said, I have Jenny Wiley State Resort Park in my hometown, and we are very proud of it. And I have been very excited to work alongside Representative Fugate with the project that he has spearheaded with the ATV trails. I think it could really turn into something special for Eastern Kentucky, and I appreciate all the work that you've put into it and the others that you've brought together to work on it.
Thank you. Representative Kirk McCormick.
Hello, I represent the 93rd District, which is Martin and East Pike County. I border West Virginia in majority of my precincts. We have, of course, Breaks Interstate Park, which is absolutely beautiful if anybody hasn't been there. It's well worth a trip there. They have a lodge and with a dining room, etc. There is some things of interest that's going to be taking place up there. Is I believe, a swing bridge. It's going to connect from across a large expansion, and I'm curious to see how that turns out. Another one is the ATV trail, which I'm excited to be working with that. I'm hearing pros and cons about it. It'll never replace our coal industry, but what it will do is offer more opportunities in the service industry, in my opinion. I am, of course, new to this tourism committee, and I'm looking forward to learning and seeing what we can bring to the table for our areas. So just honored to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Roberts.
Chairwoman King, thank you for taking this time for us all to get to know each other. It's great to hear about everybody's district. I represent District 67 in Northern Kentucky. Tourism is a major economic driver in my area. I am proud to represent a stop on the Bourbon Trail and several B-list restaurants and bars in that area. And I would just say to each of my fellow colleagues, my husband and I had to necessarily change our travel plans this summer, which were international in the beginning. So instead, we took 8 days and drove over 1,000 miles around the Commonwealth. And during that time, I got to visit many of your districts, which gave me such a better understanding for the people that you each represent, what connects us, what makes our districts very different. I would encourage each of you to do that with your families, to spend our tourism dollars as the tourism committee here in the Commonwealth. Thanks.
Great recommendation. Thank you. And now we will go to our members via Zoom. Let's start with Representative Stevenson, please.
Well, thank you, Chairwoman. I am from the 88th District, which is the southeast portion of Fayette County, and I'm excited to sit on tourism. As many of you know, I have a background in working with nonprofits and not-for-profits, and two of the biggest events that I have worked on in the past. I worked for the Breeders' Cup for 3 years, which we know came here. So I was involved in the very first Breeders' Cup that happened here at Keeneland, which we were so proud of. And then I also worked for Run the Bluegrass, which is a half marathon that also happens at Keeneland. And we surround that with about 5 days of a festival mentality. And my job there was to encourage people that were coming in. We would host around 10,000 people. They would come from every single state, and we often had between 5 and 8 different countries that would come in as well. And my job was to show those people a good time and show off Kentucky so that they would want to come back and vacation here. So we would host them at various horse farms and distilleries and show them all of the great things that we have to offer for them and their families. And like I said, encourage them to come back. So I'm excited to sit here and continue my journey.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, Representative Palumbo via Zoom.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I represent District 76, which is northeast Fayette County. My district touches Bourbon and Clark counties. We are, as you know, the horse capital of the world. The horse park is located in Fayette County and Keeneland. And I encourage everyone to come to Lexington at any time. We are very hospitable. And Madam Chair, I would love that report that you just read about the tourism during COVID.
Thank you. Yes, staff is already making notes of that. I'm sure you will be seeing that in your email folder soon. Thank you very much for those remarks. I appreciate the committee's indulgence. I know we took a little bit of time, but I really do think this helps us get a better feel of who we will be serving with and who we are serving. So I certainly appreciate that. Please, especially for our new folks, please pay attention during motions, petitions, and communications, and watch for email notifications in case something comes up that we need to address on this committee. And with that, I will be looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Representative Shane Baker with a motion. Second. Duly noted. Thanks for coming. Have a great day.